Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, my name is Sasha. I love reviewing indie eyeshadow palettes. So if you guys are into that, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I love to have you guys here. And for today's video, I'm so excited guys. I'm so excited. I'm going to be reviewing the Odens Cosmetics Perfect World collection. So I picked about 3 because I'm a big Odens Cosmetics fan. Like I love them so much. And these are all collab palettes, so congratulations to all of you guys. Like I'm really happy for you guys, and I just needed this collection, even though I could have probably lived without one because of my color preference. I just wanted to pick up the whole thing because it's like my first time having like the whole palette collection. And the last time they had like the trio collab palettes, I totally missed out on that. So I didn't want to miss out on these. I wanted to try them out, review them, and then I was really excited for, especially with 2. So with the 3 collab palettes, we have Flora, it's the Sea Talk palette, and this one has like browns and pinks, greens, and blues. So yeah, this one, it's a very interesting color story. For this review, I was able to do 5 eye looks. The reason why I did 5 eye looks, I originally wanted to do 4 eye looks, but I needed to do additional look for one palette because I needed to test out some shades. That's why I did 2 eye looks with the Flora Story palette. This is the collab palette with makeup just for fun. So I only follow her on Instagram, but she also has a YouTube page too. And this one's like more of the neutral palette comparing the other 2. The other 2 are more colorful, so you get some greens, some purples, and yeah, basically that's it. Like this one's more like a green, so you just get blues and greens with this one. Okay, so the next one right here is a Sea Talk palette, and this one is a collab palette with Lauren. So Lauren, I don't follow her, but I really love the color story for her palette. It's like really cool, and when I swatched it, like it made me fall in love with it even more. I really love how the way, I mean, they all swatch fine except for the yellow. That was the only thing because it's like a sheen matte. Like I love colors like these, like neon like shades, but I just wish it was a little bit more solid. But all of these shades, they were great. This is like my second favorite color story, and this one, I love that it has like some neutral browns. Like I don't wear browns all the time, but I love these browns. I'm more into the cool tone browns, but they're all gorgeous. I love that it has warm tone browns, like 2 warm tone browns and 2 cool tone browns, and then the pop with colors. That's my favorite shimmer right there. There's a mermaid scale, it's so like sparkly, and it also has a duochrome too. And then for the third palette, it's the Planet Spirit palette, and this is a color palette with Batty Bean, and I freaking love her. I follow her on Instagram and YouTube, and she really inspires me. And when they sneak peek the palettes, like blurry, this was the one I was thinking that, oh, this one's gonna be my favorite. I just love colorful palettes, and when they revealed it and revealed who it was, like I was hoping Batty Bean to be one of the creators. So I'm very happy that all of these, of course, when it comes to collab palettes, like it feels such an honor. Like oh, it must feel amazing, man, to be able to work with one of your most favorite brands like Odens Cosmetics. I love them so much, so I'm really happy for all of them. So with this palette, it's really colorful, wild. It's not for everyone, of course, so this is like probably the most unique color story, of course, out of the 3. And just this one, like this one's so good, you guys. I really had a lot of fun with this one. So I'm just gonna show you guys some swatches, and I'm gonna give you guys my review towards the end. Today I'm doing my first eye look using the Flora Story palette. Well, I'm doing the eye look for each of the other palettes too, and then I'm gonna do another look, the 4th look, using all the palettes. So I'm so excited to do the last look. But for today, I'm hoping I could do another look later today, but I just want to start out with this one because I feel like I probably mentioned in the beginning, this, I mean, it's a beautiful color story, but this is more like neutral, more wearable. Not a complete neutral palette, but it's considered a neutral palette. It's because the fact that it's more wearable. It's greens, purples. I love purples and greens. Oh, I think those are beautiful combos. I'm thinking I'm going to start out with the shade Clover, and I haven't swatched any of the palettes yet, so this will be my total first impressions. I'll start out with this green shade. I think it's Clover. Oh yeah, this green, it's powdery. I mean, the pigmentation's pretty good. I don't have a light base, so this is going to be close to my skin tone almost, like as in depth level. So it'll be like almost like a I barely see you there green. But it's a nice green, so it matches my shirt exactly what I'm wearing. It's really easy. It's powdery though. Let me just add a little bit more here. And oh my gosh, I really want to play with the purples. Maybe I'll keep it green up here and purple down here. That's what I'm thinking, instead of having a purple right here, deepening the crease. I'll do that for another day. You could diffuse this out, but there's no lighter shade to help, you know, lighten this up. This is the lightest shade that you're gonna get. Plus with this shade too, there's another light shade, the Shroom, the brownish shade, the brown beige shade. We'll deepen up the crease with the shade Sage right here. So I'm not sure why. I just want to play it safe with this one for some reason. I mean, you don't have to. I think this will be easy to work with, but this is total first impressions. I hope the lighting's good. I know I have the angle a little bit weird. Usually I use the window as my lighting and then a little bit of ring light. Ooh, so this green right here, it's actually a little bit darker than the other green. Let me work with it a little bit. I'm just gonna put some NYX glitter glue. So I'm not sure. Those two greens, they look very similar to each other. I mean, you could use with the other colors, but I'm just saying, has two greens together, they're too close to each other. Let's see the purple, the shade Magnolia, the purple right here. So I'm not sure how it's gonna look. I think the shade Dawn in the inner corner or the inner part too. So I'm just gonna put it to this, up to this point. Ooh, yeah, this is a very sparkly shade. So I haven't done swatches, you guys. I'm just kind of guessing on. So I'll just have it kind of like diffuse out right here. Yeah, guys. I wasn't recording the part where I was using the Dawn shade. I thought I was. Okay, but basically it's like I was thinking it was going to be more green and like a green iridescent shade, but it has like, it shifts into a green and an orange. So on my side, you see more of the orange, but when I shift around, you see the greenish yellow. So let me just add more, and it's very sparkly and glowy, which I really love. So I'm just adding more to it. And what I was about to do before I realized I wasn't recording, I was gonna get some more Magnolia shade, so I got more Magnolia shade. I'm just gonna add more to it and see if it makes a difference. Yeah, it definitely does make a difference, adding more of a pigment. I just realized I don't have my makeup done, so I can't really do the bottom. So I think that's all I will do for the top. So let me just do my makeup real quick and I'll be back to do the bottom. Alright guys, so I'm back. So I'm just gonna finish up the rest of the bottom of the eye look. It did take a while because I did an eyeliner and then I messed up. I tried to fix it and I had to completely take off my eye look. So I'm gonna use these two purples right here. Ooh, I love this purple. So these shadows, they are on the powder side. I mean, honestly, usually are a little bit powdery sometimes, but I feel like this one, I mean, so far from the shades I use, they're more powdery, like all of them, you know. I think this will be easy purple. I think there's only one shade I'm probably gonna mention about the green, the dark green Sage. I feel like that one is gonna be troubling. Like, I just didn't like that shade. I like the shade Clover, but I just wasn't a fan of the Sage shade. With the first time, I wasn't like a super fan, like adding depth to it, to my look, but also the color too. I feel like it's the formula to that shade alone, Sage. I didn't like it. I feel like that one might be patchy if you're not too careful. So this is like totally first impressions, of course. I love this shade right here. This is the Azalea shade. It's a really nice dusty-ish purple. Very pretty. Now I'm gonna deepen it up with Orchid. It's a deeper purple. It's a little bit hard pressed. It's not as soft, I would assume, like as in powder, I mean. Yeah, it's not as powdery as the other shade. Alright, I'm just deepening it up right here real quick. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. So it's pretty. It's pretty. I would have liked to have an eyeliner, but just today is not my day, I guess. Shimmers are good so far. I only use these two right here, the shade Dawn and Magnolia. They're so pretty. So Dawn is a little bit like more chunky, but it's really sparkly. But Dawn is really sparkly too, but that one's like shifted. It's like a duochrome. It shifts to a green to orange. Can you guys see? I hope you guys can see. So it's pretty. I do like this green right here, Clover, but I did not like the shade Sage. Like, I feel like the formula is not as good or something. Like, I feel like it's gonna be a troubling shade. So yeah, that's all I can say about this palette. I still need to test out. Well, I need to see how these will perform on the top of the lid, and also this shade. I haven't swatched this, so I can't really say that much, but I can't wait to use the the other shimmers and another look. So I decided I wanted to do a second eye look with this because I wasn't really happy with the first look, even though I thought it was pretty, but it's because the greens, like, I think this green is fine, just like I said, but it was just that green. I don't want to use it again, but really when I was wearing the look, I didn't wear it that long, but the purple faded on the bottom, so I had to like retouch it. So I want to play with the purples today, so maybe a little fast music thing, so this video won't be so long, but I just want to play with the purples and probably with this shade right here. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to use the teals, maybe, I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna play with this and then we'll see how this look turns out. Okay, so here's the second look using the Flora Story palette. So a little bit more colorful, a little bit more bold, which I prefer. Ooh, it's so pretty, very sparkly. So with that shade, the last shade I used, the dawn shade, I used it in my first look. I didn't really have to use it, so I think it would have still been really pretty without that shade, but it's just to add a little extra dimension. Oh, I love these colors. So I'm really surprised this one was actually not my favorite color story, but just comparing with the other two, the other ones are just more colorful, more vivid. Yeah, these two purples, they're nice, but I think they fade off easily. This one I could barely see on my skin tone, and this too. So they're nice to make like very like soft looks. And then this purple, it's a very beautiful purple. You're able to diffuse this very easily. It fades. I think both of the purples probably fades because it's already, I think it's disappearing. I can't, yeah, it kind of did fade it a little bit. I'm not sure if it looks the same or not, but I know it faded on the bottom again, so I just added more of the color. But so far, yeah, that's all I have to share about this palette. I'm going to be comparing them towards the end, so that's all I'm going to say for now. So we're just going to move on to the next palette. And now we're going to do my look with the Sea Talk palette. I'm so excited because now we're going to be playing with more with colors. I mean, I really want to play with these colors. I am a sucker for neons. I love neons so much. I love using neons on the inner corners too. And yeah, I'm thinking of using these colors right here. So you can make it like a brown and blue look, or brown and yellow look. I think that will look really cool. Ooh, I just love the color story of this one like so much. This is gonna be like a dark pop of color kind of look, so I want to use this as the main color. So it's a super dark color, so we're gonna see how this performs. I haven't swatched it. You guys can see I have not swatched it yet. I know I just don't have time right now to swatch it. Even today the lighting is kind of, I mean, it's kind of stormy outside. I put my little bit of my foundation underneath the primer, so hopefully it doesn't affect it because my eyelids are so veiny, that's why. So I'm gonna start out with this shade right here. This shade is called Night Swim. So I hope this palette performs better. I hope so. I'm so scared because usually I don't like to start out with super dark. I'm gonna see how it looks. Maybe fade it out, you know. Ugh, you guys, I'm so like scared with dark colors. Like straight on dark color, you know. So I'm not sure how this look is gonna turn out. I'm using a smaller brush because I don't want to mess up. I don't want the blue to get everywhere. So I'm just gonna slowly build it up. It's like my thing. So I'm gonna do like a little V, just press it down. So let me just blend it, do little swirlies, and then patting at the same time. I want to use that neon shade in the inner corner, probably up to here and there. And then this is gonna be, I think I want to put this in the outer part of the lid. This is the shade Iridescent Shell, so I'll put it right here next to the blue, and then I'll put the sea spray in the inner part. I'm gonna put some NYX glitter girl real quick. Like a purplish. It's like a purplish, like a periwinkle purple. I'm not sure how it's gonna look because I haven't swatched it, but it's more on the thin side. I could tell. That's why we're gonna put it in the inner part. I'm gonna put it. Ooh. Oh shoot! I'm about to mess up. So let me just kind of fix the shape. Ooh, that's so pretty against the blue. I mean, I'm just gonna put it to this point right here. Hopefully it's bolder than I think it is, this color. If not, we'll fix it, guys. We'll fix it. Ooh, okay, right here, the Iridescent Shell. It's like a flaky formula, so hopefully it goes on more solid. I don't think it is, so if it isn't, we'll just fix it. Ooh, yeah, it's flaky, so be careful. Ooh, this is gonna add like almost like a scaly look, guys. Okay, so you could definitely build it up. Okay, I was a bit worried. And it kind of matches with that purple shade. So I'm just gonna meet that point, and I'm just gonna add more pigment. So it reminds me of like seashells, like inside of shells. I want to add it as my inner corner. It looks like a matte to me, so I'm hoping it's a matte in the sheen shimmer. I believe it's a matte. So let me see. It doesn't have a lot of kickback, so I'm hoping this shade stays. Oh yeah, I love neon in corners. Oh, it is like yellowish green. I'm just gonna add it right here. I love this. It's so beautiful, man. I love these shades. I've been into these yellowish greenish shades. Like the Deck Cosmetics has a shade like this, and I've been like so like addicted on using it so much. So I love these shades, guys, these neon yellow green shades, and I'm just softly blending. And this one is not like stain, it's a little bit on a powdery. It'll work better as a transition in the inner corner. So let me just use my finger a little bit and I'm gonna get a little bit of the sea spray. I'm gonna get a little bit of that, and I'm just gonna add it over that yellow a little bit. And that shade is not that good as an inner corner. That kind of makes me sad, so I might have to use another shade. I'm gonna add mermaid scales and actually put it over that yellow. Depending on the shimmer, you might have to use a setting spray too. So I'm just using my brush. Ooh, that's really changing it. Okay, so let me just use my pinky then, and I'm just gonna softly blend it. I think that's cool. It's really giving me mermaid vibes. All right, so now for the bottom. Well, we could bring in that yellow again. I'm gonna get the electric calp and use that on the bottom so that we don't lose that shade. I know I have a hint of it, but I don't want to completely lose it, so I'm just gonna put it on the bottom. I really love this shade, but it's not like a solid matte. To deepen it up, I don't think I'm gonna use that blue. Let's use this brown right here, Dolphin Tail. Ooh, if this shade had like, if this palette had like a pink, it would have been nice, but let's just use this. I don't want it to be too, I don't want to use the other brown because this one's more like a red base brown, while this one's more cool tone. So let me use that shade. This one's more hard pressed, so I'm just gonna use that shade to deepen the edges. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I guess I will use that blue after all. This shade right here, the Ocean Jewel. So we'll use that to deepen up the bottom, and hopefully it gives enough depth. So I have a little bit of that brown underneath. This look is looking like really wild, but let's just use that Iridescent Shell shade. I keep putting powder my eye. Usually that doesn't happen, but I'm just going really crazy. I'm gonna use my finger, and I'm just gonna hope I do this good. I'm just gonna put it right here. So there's a really shimmery look, guys. I really like it. I think the only thing I'll do, I'll change the shape of this a little bit, and then I'll be right back with my lashes. Okay, so here's the eye look I did using the Sea Talk palette. I love it, guys. I love it. It's like each look I'm loving more than the other. It's so pretty. So it's a little bit different because, I mean, it's the shape is pretty bold. It's because of the dark blue. But let's talk about this palette so far. I love this palette. The only thing I've used all these shades right here, right? All these 6 shades besides, actually I did use a little bit of this. I forgot to use this shade on this side, so it doesn't make that much of a difference, but I need to test out these browns like for a different look. But you know, browns, you could do like a brown look, brown yellow, brown blue, even brown pink. Basically all these browns could look with any, it could look good with any of these colors. But so far from what I used, the shimmers are very like sparkly. This one's very dimensional, so I think this is like a dual chrome. It has like a pink and blue effect. So this is a flaky formula. It's very soft, so be careful. It's kind of squishy, so if you dig for your brush for this shade, you're gonna move some product. This shade, it's smooth, it's thin, so it's very easy to work with. This one's very sparkly. I only use it in this corner, but I imagine that these two, this one is more sparkly, so let me just kind of swatch real quick to see the difference. They look kind of similar, but they have different reflex. This one's more, that looks like a duochrome. This one's more of a solid color. So let me just do a little swatch real quick. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, yeah, so this is the shimmer. The shimmer, you could build it up, of course. This one's like a shimmering, it's very shimmery, and yeah, it's reflecting some light. This one's definitely a duochrome. It has like a brown base with blue reflex, so you guys could see that. So I didn't use that on my lid. I only use this in the bottom, the edge. Of course, you guys seen from the electric cow. I love this shade, like the color wise, but it's more on the powdery side. Like it's not super pigmented. I think Odens, they don't really do good with shades like these, like lighter shades, like with the Hella palette, like the top left shade, and then in the Christmas Eve palette, there's another shade that's kind of similar with like a yellowish green vibe. It's like, it's more powdery, like it's not super pigmented, like opaque. It has that, like you put it down and it looks like it doesn't look solid. So I'm not sure how this look like has a transition. I think it'll be wearable. I have to test it out, but it's not a wasted shade. I love the shade. This really brings more of a pop to your eyes. Especially, you could also put different shimmers on top of this matte, like what I did right there. I used this shade Mermaid Scale, and it really changed up, like it's like having a different shimmer basically. So it made it more like neon green. So it's these 2 shades I have in my inner corner. I really love that combo. So you can also use this or even this. The darker shades, it won't really work on the darker shades on the inner corner, but it could work on the inner lid. Like I feel like since this mask's not super pigmented, you could put it on the lid, but I think you would have to put a shimmer on top to make it like look good. So that's all I have to say about this palette. I haven't fully tested out the rest, but so far, yes, I do love it. So now we're going to move on to the next look. Okay, so finally we're going to play with the Planet Spirit palette. I'm so excited to play with this palette because this is my most favorite color story. And I love Baddie Bean as well, but I'm not going to be biased, you guys. I'm going to be just as truthful as I was with the other 2 palettes. So whatever look I create. I'm for sure not going to be able to use all these colors today for this look, but yeah, that's why I do rankings, palette rankings. So when I play with the palettes even more, I give a update about them like every month now. And I'm sure I'll have a few more days to play with these palettes and just to test them out a little bit more, and then I'll just update you guys in my palette rankings. So let's just play with this. So I'm using the Ins-Ired eyeshadow amplifying base. You can use it as cut creases, but you can also use it as an eye base. It's okay, but I wanted to use it too because it has a really light color. That's why, and these colors are really vivid, very bright, and I want those colors to show show up more. So I'm just patting the creases down a little. Oh, I think I'm going to start out with the shade Rescue. It has the light shade. I want to start it as a transition. This one doesn't have that much kick. I mean, there is a little bit kickback, but it's more hard pressed than softly pressed. And I'm just going to focus on this side. Oh my god, that is freaking pink. Oh shoot. Okay. I gotta calm down. So this matte, oh, this is a good neon. That's very bright and bold. So yeah, I need to like, actually, I'm already messing up, but let's just improvise. I'm just gonna put the pink right here. I don't even know what kind of look I'm gonna do, but oh, I have like a little dot right there. Let me just try to fade it out, but that's a good pink. You guys could tell it's super pigmented. So look, we're gonna use that Pride shade right here. So this, oh my gosh, this color story is just super fun. It almost, I mean, I haven't like compared them side by side, but when I see this palette, it kind of reminds me of the Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette. I think that's the one, I think. Yeah, it's like very colorful. It like reminds me of these colors, but that's what this fun color story is reminding me of. So I'm using the shade Pride. Ooh, wow. Alright, so if you guys picked up this palette, you guys really picked up a good one. This is like my favorite color story, and it's already performing really well. Okay, so let me just blend that. I live for these colors. Let me just blend this. I'm gonna diffuse it out. Let me just clean my brush a little. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful color combo. I love pinks and purples. I'm gonna diffuse it out. Do a better shape. I know with my last shape with the, I forgot the C palette, it wasn't the best shape. It was a nice look, but I didn't do the best shape. But this is a lot better. The shade Pride had some kickback to it, but it's good pigmentation and it wasn't hard to blend. The shade Rescue was more hard pressed, so it's like a little minimal kickback, but it's really pigmented. So that one took me like, I was caught off guard with that one. I put too much, but it's okay. It's looking well. But so let's use the shade Sanctuary. This is like a reddish shade, so hopefully it looks different than the shade Rescue. This one's like a peachy, punchy pink, and this one's like a, I'm not sure what kind of red that is, but it's some kind of red. It's like almost leans towards like pink, but let me see how it looks on the crease area. Oh yeah. Oh, actually, that's actually a nice color. Yeah, this will add more depth against these two colors. Ooh, wow. Okay, yeah, really impressed with this palette already. So let me just put my NYX glitter glue real quick. I'm gonna use these two shimmers right here. Hopefully it turns out well. They look very sparkly. So yeah, I was just charging my tablet. Sorry guys. Yeah, this is, you could kind of barely see it because of the colors I'm using, but it'll be good because it helps blend in like in between. So, and plus it has like yellow sparkles. Very pretty. Ooh, I love this combo already. Let me use my finger because, you know, I'm always worried about hard patting with the NYX glitter glue, you know. I'm not sure if it does if you're not careful, but just trying to be safe. Ooh, this is gonna be my favorite look. With the shade Majestic. Hopefully it has enough reflect. If not, I'll use the shade Fauna in the middle, right in, well, this is Majestic right here, so hopefully it's enough. Yeah, I think that should be enough. I don't want it to be too much. And let me just use my finger and just, yeah, that's a nice pop. I'm gonna get a smaller taper brush and I'm just gonna add the pink shade back in, the Rescue shade. Just press it in. I think this will be a good as an inner corner too. Maybe we'll use it as an inner corner. This purplish shade, I'm gonna add a little bit more back in. I kind of diffuse it out, but tap it out. And I'm just pressing it right here. So I think the formula to these is very easy to work with. This is like the formula I'm used to from Odens. I don't think I'm going to use the green. It's really going to be contrast. So maybe orange and pink. So let me use the orange the shade Habitat right here. So I guess just some orange shade. If even pinks and orange, they're good shades to work with. Pink and orange, orange and purples. Yeah, this one I'm not sure. I probably have to test this one out. Yeah, it's a little powder in the bottom, but it's because I'm swiping it. This one doesn't look as pigmented, and this one's hard pressed too. I'm gonna use the shade Rescue again. Let me clean off my brush first. I'm gonna deepen this up. It's like a very nice neon pink. Let's add a little Fauna shade right here, just so that we can use it. This shade Fauna. It has a greenery fleck, pink, and probably gold. So that's like a, I think a multi-chrome. This is the Fauna shade. Almost has a gray base almost. But let me just put it in the bottom. Hopefully, yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the bottom, on top of the orange, I guess. This is pretty much the look. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then I'll be right back. You guys, I love this look. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, you guys. So honestly, so far I have nothing bad to say about this palette from the colors I used. The only thing, this orange Habitat wasn't as pigmented as I imagined. I mean, I've seen Bellabeautébar's reviews of both. That's been a while, and my memory kind of sucks. My memory sucks. So yeah, this orange, that's the only thing about this orange. It's not as dark as I thought it would be, but quality wise, really good with this one so far. I just have to test out this green, and then this orange again on the top lid, and then these shimmers, the green and the purple. I haven't used those shades, but yeah, I love this palette like so much already. Alright guys, so here's the fit and final look. So yeah, I wanted to do something colorful, something fun using all the palettes. So I mainly use these two palettes. Well, more like the Planet Spirit palette, and then a little bit of the Sea Talk, and then a little bit of the Flora Story palette, because I used this twice, so I thought I didn't need to test this out even more. But I really wanted to play with the bold, vivid color with this one. So pretty. And then with this one, the Sea Talk, I really wanted to play with the Mermaid Scale, because that's one of my favorite shimmers from this palette. So let's talk about the quality and what I think about them. So from my color preference, I do prefer more colorful palettes, but I'm also comparing them by quality as well. And based on the quality, it goes by your color preference too. So I'm really surprised about that, because this one, let's talk about the Flora Story palette. So I did 2 looks with this one because I really felt like I needed to test it out, or else I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna give it like a bad review based on my first look. And before I did this look, I tested out a few shades I felt like I needed to test out. It has its own shade, so I put this over my lid, and I did have trouble blending, but it's just a dirty green. And yeah, I feel like it's not a flattering shade to me, and you'll come out with easier eye looks with this palette too. So it's not my favorite palette. So you get like 2 greens. That green I'm not a fan of. This green is pretty. These 2 purples are pretty. They're just a little bit powdery. They might fade off, and then I think that's a nice addition. And then the shimmers, you get 2 different green shimmers. And this one, it looks like a blue. I thought it was going to be a blue, but it's actually like a green, like a grass green shade. So let me do like a little swatch. So look at that. It's pretty. So this one I was tempted to use on right here just to add a little bit more of color, but it's like a grass green shade. And then of course I love the Magnolia shade. It's like a purple silver shade. So it's not like a unique shade, but I just love purples like these. So yeah, I think the formula to the shimmers are fine. With the other 2, they're more colorful. So the Sea Talk palette. So when I did the swatches, earlier before I did this eye look, and it gave me like a better idea. Oh, so this is the reason why. Because sometimes when you swatch it kind of gives you an idea how they're gonna perform, but it does not happen like that like all the time. Sometimes they'll perform differently on the eyelids. But when I swatch them, I love doing swatches, guys. I love doing swatches. Like when I did the swatches, I did the swatches based on this order. And when I did it up to this point, I'm like, man, those colors look really good together. So this one, you get like 2 cool tone browns, and I am a sucker for taupey shades like this. Smoking Pearl, so gorgeous. Another favorite shimmer of mine is this Mermaid Scale, and then of course the duochrome Ocean Jewel. There's a brown and blue duochrome. And then this one, I mean, this one's pretty, but it's not like super unique in my collection. I have some pink and blue shifts in my collection already. So the only thing about the matte for this one, I tested it out on my, not on my lid, but I tested it out again. I tested a few colors before I did this look. I put it as a transition and also in the inner part too, and it does give out like a sheen. So it's like a matte with a little bit of a sheen. I love the color of this, but I wish this was more solid. So I feel like I will probably only use this below like a shimmer. Smoky Pearl. I'm just going to swatch my favorite shimmers. Mermaid Scale. This one's so pretty because it has like different sparkles. It has like gold sparkles and like reddish sparkles. And it's like a teal. Like it's not just a teal. It's just the sparkles it has. That's the main shade I have right here. Besides the other blue I use from another palette. So I really want to use it because it's so sparkly. And this one's squishy too. So some formula, this one's squishy too, but this one moves around more. Well, this one's more squishy, like it just presses down, like it feels putty like. And then my 3rd favorite shade is Ocean Jewel because it is a duochrome. I love duochromes. And I think the mattes of these, they're fine. The other mattes are fine. It was just this one, the sheen effect it gives. Shade, I love that shade. So these are my 3 favorite shades. So it's like an interesting color story. I think this palette is worth it. The Sea Talk palette. It's like a very interesting palette. It does remind me of mermaids a little bit. So I think this will pair really well with the Planet Spirit palette because of the other vivid colors. Like, of course, all the other palettes, they complement each other. But these 2, I feel like they're like best friends. Yeah, they're like best friends. But let's talk about the Planet Spirit palette. So when I did the swatches for this one, I was really impressed with the swatches and also the way it performed. When I first tried this palette out, that was before I did the swatches, and I was so impressed because I didn't know how they were gonna apply. Like I only seen one video from Batty Bean, that was it. So when I put too much, I was like, oh shit, they're freaking pigmented. And when I swatched them, I do a lot of swatches, so I know my swatches, and the quality of these, they feel so good. Like they're vivid, they're pigmented. Like they're not like straight on like 100% pigmented. I of course build up all my swatches, but I could just tell the consistency between the mattes. They're really nice, man. And they're neon shades too, so that's really surprising. Another thing too about this palette, your eyes are gonna stay with this. So I use cleansing balm and micellar water. When I did my look, my pink and orange look, I wore it for a good amount of hours, probably like 4 or 5 hours. and I used cleansing balm and micellar water, and it left only like a slight pink hue. So I think with all the shades, because when I did the swatches, they left a stain on my fingers. I was using my cleansing oil to clean them off besides my cleansing balm. But this color story is not for everyone, for sure. It's very colorful, very wild, but I think the formula to this one is the best out of the three. And the shimmers, probably the shimmers is not as like they're colorful. This one's a wearable red. This one's like a sheer red with some gold sparkles. So there's shimmers like that, but this one's like more wearable. So I do like that. Let me do some swatches of my favorite shades. It's fauna, like I use fauna right here. I'm just a sucker for pink and gold shimmers. I think it's a dual chrome or a multi-chrome, but yeah, it's really pretty. So when it comes to like iridescent like shades, oh, it shifts like green, pink, and a gold. Yeah, so I could see it. Yeah, it's a multi-chrome. So when it comes to like iridescent multi-chromes like this, they feel like sheer light, so you have to build them up. And if you put in this in a corner, they just add like a little pop of highlight, but like not too much. It's like not chunky. I prefer this formula than a chunky formula. Sometimes I'll occasionally use a chunky shimmer in the corner, but in this case, it's really pretty. It's very wearable. But my favorite shimmer is, of course, Fauna, Familiar, and I mean, those are the two main favorites. But these are more like shimmers. This one's very sparkly. Kindred's is pretty. So I think these two are my main favorite, and then it's this one and Amelia. So let me just swatch those real quick. So I think it's a wearable red, very pretty. Those are my favorite shimmers. And yeah, so overall the quality to this one's really good. It's my favorite color story, and it ended up being the best quality as well. This is my second favorite, the color story, and the quality, it's pretty good. So I think the only thing, it was just sashing mainly, so that was pretty much the only downside to this one. But I love the color though. But yeah, that's the only thing. And then for this one, you just get a lot of similar colors with this one. This one's more wearable, and then the mattes, they feel very soft, like powdery like. The other ones really this one feels a little bit powdery, but not as much. And then this one, man, these are just soft. Like this is the formula like I love from Odens. They feel so workable, man. So with Odens formula, they're very workable. It depends on the shades, I guess, but to me, they feel like easy formula to work with. Sometimes when I mess up, it's easy to take it off, like using another shade, putting it on top. That's all I have to say about these palettes, this whole collection. So I'm really happy to have all of them. So I feel like I needed them still. Even for this one, like this one, I think I could have lived without it, but it's just the fact that I just wanted this collection. Like I love Odens, and I'll be able to use all of them, of course. So I really hope you guys find this video helpful. Let me know if you guys picked these up, if you guys plan to pick it up. I know the Planet Spirit palette, it's currently sold out. I'm not sure if they're gonna bring it back or if they're gonna restock in whatever palettes that are sold out. This is the only one that's currently sold out, but I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back. I hope they do, because I do recommend this one. It's a very colorful palette. I don't think I'm going to be able to use it like all the time, but it is one that has my heart. And the other two palettes, they're available on its own, or you can also get the whole 3 palette as a bundle. You get like a small discount. That's all I have to say about these palettes. I really hope you guys find this review helpful. Let me know what you guys think, because I'd love to hear it. And if you guys are new to my channel and enjoy this video, I'll be really happy to have you guys here, because I do a lot of these indie palette review videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.